Welcome to another video in Arapahoe Library series on executive function in young children. My name is Mary, and today Lorianne and I would like to share some ideas for activities you can do at home or in the classroom to help young children grow their working memory. Lorianne, can you start by reminding us what working memory is?
I can. Working memory is the ability to hold information in our brains for a short time in order to use it to complete tasks or process thoughts.
So we've got a few ideas that use things you can find at home or in the classroom that help children work on this skill. Here's my first idea. I've got here a few small objects I grabbed from around the house. Of course, when you do this at school or home, make sure they're not small enough to be choking hazards. Have everyone take a good long look at each one, maybe passing them around for everyone to examine. Then cover the whole thing with a cloth. Take one object away from under the cloth without the children seeing. Then remove the cloth and ask them to tell you which object is missing. To make it harder for older kids, use one of the same thing, like buttons, but with different attributes. Big, small, different colors, different shapes. You can even do this activity with kids in the classroom. Have everyone close their eyes and have one person hide. Then we all guess who's missing. Lorianne, what's your first idea?
My first idea is to pack a suitcase. You can make a list for the grocery store, for a picnic, for the animals. I'm going to share a quick story about my grandson. He's 3.5, and I was taking him home one afternoon, and he started talking about a rocket ship, and we were going to travel to the sun. And he had my little keypad, and he was typing all the things we were listing: sunglasses, sunscreen, opa, snack, dinner, snack, food. It was very cute. And when we got home, we actually started to gather those things up. Obviously, we didn't have a list, but he remembered. He remembered what was on the list.
Great. So my next idea, Lorianne, is to try a matching game. And any activity where you match objects helps grow your working memory and your mental flexibility skills. For younger kids, you could try matching socks. You can match socks by the same color, for example, when they're younger. But when they get a little bit older, you can match by other things, like which of these socks have cats on them. Cats on them. And look at patterns too. Which one has stripes? Which one has polka dots? You can even do this at home when you're doing the laundry and your little one wants to help. Doesn't matter what you're matching, any kind of matching will do.
My second idea was to have a jungle story. So the resources you'll need are a feely bag or a box, and then toy jungle animals. It's a memory circle game, so it works best with small group activities. You could potentially do it with a few more if they have really excellent memories. The first person puts their hand in the bag, takes out an animal, an elephant, and says, "In the jungle, I saw an elephant." Then they pass on the bag and that child takes one out. "In the jungle, I saw a cheetah and an elephant." And on it goes. So they continue to just pass the bag around. One way to do it, even with younger children, is to put all of the animals in the center of the circle, name them all, and talk about them all before they go into the bag.
That sounds like fun. I love using books to grow executive function skills. And so one idea I have is when you're reading a story and then ask the kids afterwards to retell you what happened in the story. That's a great way to grow working memory. What happened first, and what then, and what happened last. And you can also have the kids focus on one particular thing in the story. For example, in this book, Baby Goes to Market by Atanuke and Angela Brooksbank, You can ask them to pay special attention to what food baby puts in the basket on mama's head. And after the story, you can ask them to recall, do you remember what was one of the foods that baby put into mama's basket?
I really like that. You could maybe in the home or in the classroom have a basket, and then the kids could go by and do that as well. Yeah. My next one is journey maps. So it's a great activity to do this time of year when we're all outside. If you take your kids for a walk, whether home or school, maybe the park, maybe around the school, um, point out things like, oh, look, there's a tree, there's the slide, um, there's a bird in the tree, whatever you see coming off the top of my head. But and then when you get back to the classroom or back home, draw a map of that journey so that they can remember, oh, remember, mom, the first thing we saw was the tree. And then the red bird was in the tree. And then we saw um, the cat walk by, whatever it was. Again, just using that, yeah, just using that walk to build the memory. And then the next one that I have is called Team Draw a Picture. So the teacher or the parent draws the picture first. Maybe it's an alien with eyes and antennas and a big nose and a little mouth. Maybe it's a fishbowl containing lots of different things, the seaweed and the rocks. And then the kids get together as a small group, and one of them at a time runs over and says, there's a fish in the fish tank. And so they draw that. So they have to remember between going and coming back what to add.
So they're recreating the picture basically from
Right, exactly.
I love that idea. Thank you, Lorianne. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Executive Function and Young Children. In this video, we talked about some simple activities to do at home or in the classroom to grow working memory skills. I'm sure you have lots of ideas that you can take from what we've shared and turn them into even other activities. For more information, please visit the websites listed at the end of this video and in the video description. We've also provided a link in the description to book lists that also model and help grow working memory, as well as books for parents and caregivers with more ideas and information. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, Lorianne.
Bye, Mary.